We decided 2 weeks ago that we were on to fall recipes. So I think that should be no surprise that we are on to our first baked salad. This one for New York Times Cooking. Our second recipe with them. This channel is getting very legitimate. So welcome back to Cooking for Fun. Baked salad, our first of the season. That gets us to like a very serious spot where we have to talk about the 3 things that you need for a baked salad, because a baked salad is not just a bowl of roasted vegetables. It's contrary to what people think. Different things. So the 3 things you need for a baked salad. Number 1, a leafy green has to be the base of the baked salad. I'm talking kale, mustard greens, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, which fun fact is just a tiny cabbage. Anything leafy has to be in the baked salad, or else we're looking at a harvest bowl. We're looking at a farmer's market bowl, if that's how we're branding them nowadays. So that's rule number 1 of a baked salad. Rule number 2, the dressings either have to be tangy but slightly sweet, or rich and creamy. So today our dressing is going to be on the tangy, slightly sweet side. So that's talking like a version of an agrodolce, an agrodou, a gastrique. We'll talk about what those are later. Or the rich and creamy side, a Caesar dressing works really well, a tahini dressing works really well. But both of these dressings have like a heaviness aspect to them, either on the sweet side or the really rich side, that counters the bitter greens in step number 1. Step number 3, rule number 3 of a baked salad, the fillings are what makes it filling. So I'm talking farro, cheese, beans. This salad is not going to be a meal if it's just leafy and etc. So my sad desk salads of the past, like my kale and a dressing, we've moved past that. We have our 3 rules. We have the basis of a baked salad. So the one for the New York Times is actually, it's exciting because I know you. I'm coming back. I know that you have probably seen Swiss chard and you've been like, this is beautiful. I want to use these beautiful stems, this gorgeous green, and then you cook it and you're like, wow, this is really gross. So we're gonna make Swiss chard delicious. But let's step back a bit because we have to start with the fillings. We will start with our mix-ins because those take the longest. So it's just gonna be 1 cup of farro, and we're gonna set that to boil first. Farro is one of my favorite greens because it's got a nice nuttiness, a nice earthiness to it. So we'll set that to boil, and then we wanna have enough time to let it cool just a little bit. And I'm gonna say something crazy, wild. I think I tried to put it in my book, and then they were like, girl, we're not gonna let you put this in the book. I firmly believe that if you don't know how to cook your grain, treat it like pasta, boil it for 20 minutes, then just check. And that's like, when in doubt, do that. The pasta method works for any grain, including rice. So we're doing that. Don't cover it, don't measure your water. It's fine. Farro's on, oven is preheating to 375. I'm getting my huge cabbage, and we're gonna get the vegetables out of the way. So Swiss chard is a little bit bitter. It's got a little bit of a bite to it. Cabbage actually roasts down to be really sweet. So in a baked salad, the baking element is actually really important because it makes it so that the Swiss chard isn't a lot to handle. And it makes it so that the cabbage, you roast out all that sweetness. You get some nice charring, some nice caramelization. Let's chop up the Swiss chard and I'll show you how I like it so that it ends up looking like little like gems in the salad, really pretty. This is not gonna stay this color forever, but it's gonna stay pretty close. And then straight onto a baking sheet. So stems and leaves are a different ballgame. Leaves, chop them bigger, because as soon as they go into the oven, you want them in big pieces or else just collapse. You know, you're baking greens. It's kind of what to expect. And look at all these greens that are about to be going into your system. You beacon of health. Actually, it's 4 servings, so you're only getting a quarter of that, but it's still a lot. The oven's ready, but I am not. Next up, cabbage. Same difference. This is gonna yield a lot, so we're probably only gonna use a half. Okay, there we go. We'll quarter it, then core it. Oh. And then thinly sliced just for this. It is a game time decision. We're going whole cabbage. whole cabbage, whole sheet pan, and do not worry about it being crowded. It's gonna steam a little, that's fine. It's gonna char a little on the edges. That's great. Right onto a baking sheet. And whenever I do the more acidic types of dressings for baked salads, you'll notice those dressings don't have a lot of oil in them. And that's because as we're roasting all the vegetables, whether that's leafy greens or really any vegetables, those have oil on them. So the fat in the salad is still there. It's just building up in stages. So these each get a touch of oil, a touch of salt, a little toss. This feels like an aggressive amount of vegetables, but that's fine. It's a salad. So we're gonna make it so the salad is as beautiful as possible, which means we roast the vegetables last so the Swiss chard stays really beautiful. I'm starting the dressing. It's gonna be 1/2 of a red onion. And then 3 garlic cloves grated. Farro happened really quickly, looking great, so we're just gonna strain that and set it to the side. Eric's been really into cooking hanger steak lately, so I have no idea what condition these pans are gonna be in every time I pull them out. So no judgment zone. Okay, our heat is still on. And again, in the recipe, it's streamlined, it's focused. I know what's going on in my head, so you will have it written. I have this beautiful brain. Goodbye, 25 minutes. And so that's in, and then 3 tablespoons of olive oil in this pan. So then we're gonna put our red onion in the pan and let that cook and soften before we start the sweet and sour element. And as a person with a high level of anxiety, which makes no sense, I am not a Virgo, nor a Taurus, nor a Cancer. I'm a Gemini, in case you cared. But as a person with anxiety, I'm always like, okay, how much of the steps do I need to walk you through before we actually get to the steps? So I'm gonna walk you through what that's gonna do, even though we're gonna get there. But an agrodolce, which you've seen me make on this channel, my most popular video is my spoon salad, and that has an agrodolce as the dressing. An agrodolce is an Italian sweet and sour condiment, usually made with raisins, a high amount of vinegar, and a high amount of sugar. This is most closely linked to that. And these aren't getting anywhere close to caramelized. In fact, what we're going for is more like on the side of fried. So once these get a little brown and frizzly at the edges, in goes the garlic. That's gonna take like 2 to 3 minutes. Garlic's super quick when it's grated. And then we'll go in with red wine vinegar and honey. And that's gonna reduce. I forgot to tell you to reduce the heat to low, but do that. Otherwise you add the vinegar and then it's like a vinegar cloud and it'll go up your nose. It's a lot, but that will turn into a dressing pretty instantaneously. And then the cranberries go in, and what happens is they soften and plump up with this as it turns syrupy. So they go from like, craisins to something like nice and juicy. That's done. So that goes off the heat. We'll just let it sit for a bit. Get on a little salt, a little pepper. I bought this bowl. I got it at a restaurant supply store. If you can fit Walter in it, and it's great for a salad. It's gonna be fine. Oh my God. We're gonna rotate this around. I'm so sorry. This video is paying for your college. Okay. For everyone at home, this bowl is getting washed. I'm using my last paper towel because I decided to put my dog in my salad bowl. Okay. This Farro's nice and cool. We've got our agrodolce dressing. And as a safe space, I undercooked some of the garlic. You won't do that at home. So now that that's in, I'm gonna wipe out this pan, because if we put this back on the heat, the honey will char and the pan will become really impossible to clean. And we're gonna go back on the heat because, like with all things, you have options. So in the recipe, it says just toast the pepitas. But I also have canned chickpeas. And sometimes I like to just give them a quick toast to toast out any canned flavor. Drained and rinsed, and we'll just give them like a few minutes. And then once the chickpeas are in the gigantic bowl, we'll go in with the pepitas and toast those. And remember how at the beginning of the video I said we have a fall theme? Are you seeing the fall theme? We got cranberries, we have pumpkin seeds, we have chickpeas, a notoriously fall legume. We're doing well. Okay, these are getting golden. And that means they're going, let's say it as a community, into the bowl. Pan done. Good job, everybody. Let's check on our cabbage. It's looking very good. I asked Shay to get on floor level because I miss our intimate moments together. But this is now, oops, gonna go on the top rack for 5 to 7 minutes, just enough for this to wilt down. And while the Swiss chard is cooking, we're gonna do final touches. I really do not like herbs for the sake of color or making something prettier or like for herbs' sake. I feel like people can smell that from a mile away, like an unnecessary herb. Here, I hate to break it to you, the parsley is absolutely necessary. Because when I first tested this recipe, I went through a few rounds. I was eating it and I was like, it's good, but like I get bite fatigue really easily, where after 4 bites, I'm like, that was good. I don't really want any more. And especially because this is so vegetable heavy, I was like, why am I getting bite fatigue? And it was because between the cheese, the pepitas, and the kind of thicker dressing, it just was like reading heavy. The parsley, I added it, broke that all up. So we're adding parsley into the big bowl. We have 1 minute and 17 seconds. Go for goat cheese. A 1/3 cup of goat cheese, time's a wasting. Oh, what I like is like our cabbage decreased in size by half. It's golden on top, steamed and soft, and sweet in the middle. Our Swiss chard still looks green and wonderful, but it's cooked down a little. It's not a chore. So let's put it into the bowl. And I was being so dramatic. I was like, the Swiss chard is gonna deteriorate and look like a decrepit old lettuce. But look at it. It's showing off. The steamed part of the cabbage doesn't have a lot of color, but the top part of the cabbage does. All of it looking so good. Yeah, the Swiss chard is holding up. So I think next step is to mix. And we now have a stunning bowl of grains, fillings, and greens. I am so excited that this is my first baked salad of the season of 2025. We're on baked salad season. I'm so honored that you joined me for our inaugural episode. Let's say you taste it and it needs a little vinegar, or it needs a little punch of salt, or it needs a little olive oil. Like, feel free to mix and match the baked salad as your own. But it's now my time to eat this and your time to hopefully make this. The whole recipe is on NewYorkTimesCooking.com or in the app. I have a gift link below that works on their website or the app. Let me remind myself and see if this is as good as it's always been. Tastes like fall, and we knew that. So happy fall. See you in 2 weeks.